What's up, guys? You know me. This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, I've missed you. I hope you've been okay. The last week has been completely hectic. The boy was going back to school. It was his birthday. It was my father's birthday. It was Labor Day. There was so much going on. Plus, hours at work was ridiculous. But I just wanted to, just reach out to you guys, see how you're doing, and discuss a few things that's been on my mind recently. And one thing that I just saw right before I turned on the camera, I swear to God, I just saw it, but I figured I would talk about it. And this is the idea that Marvel wants to continue to blackface their whole catalog. Either they're changing the gender of these heroes or they're trying to blackface them. You know what I mean? They should just call them, instead of Marvel Comics, they should call it Meme Comics. Meme, I love ya, Meme. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous at this point. All right, so this latest story, this is in BroBible.com. Never heard of it? BroBible.com, bro. And it says here, Marvel Studios reportedly eyeing Denzel Washington for iconic villain role. What role could they be thinking of, pray tell? And this is by somebody called Eric Seidel. Eric Seidel? Interesting. All right, so anyway, it says, earlier today, I brought you the rumor that Marvel Studios was reportedly considering casting people of color in the roles of Magneto and Professor X when they reboot the X-Men franchise. Yes, because we don't have new ideas anymore and new concepts. We have no imagination. Let's just paint the whole thing over in black, and that'll get you over. That's novelty enough. That'll bring people into the movies. Let's do the whole thing in black. You know what I mean? I've seen the X-Men and I want to paint them black. It says here, for what it's worth, I think it's an excellent idea, as Marvel has been extremely formulaic, I can barely read, with their approach to villains, and throwing a curveball when casting two of their most iconic characters would provide fans with something new and exciting. You know what would be new and exciting? A plot. That would be new and exciting. What about that? What about the plot? I can't take it anymore, I'm telling you. Anyway, in that same article about the casting rumors, I pontificated on who I'd like to see in such roles, particularly Denzel Washington and Will Smith. Of course, Will Smith, the go-to Negro of the day, right? Or if it were still 1997. All right, two of the first name, and I love Will Smith, by the way, it's no disrespect. Denzel Washington is one of my favorite actors. Powerful, he's got all types of charisma, he's been in some of my favorite movies of all time. Will Smith also. Coming from a hip-hop background, I've always been very proud of Will Smith. He's been, to me, one of hip-hop's, most shining stars. He's so accomplished, and to think that he came from, hip-hop has always made me proud, all right? So it's no disrespect to these brothers, okay? And then it says here, two of the first names that pop into my head are Denzel Washington as Magneto and Will Smith as Professor X, who have both conveniently yet to appear in an MCU role. Oh boy. Thanks to Training Day, we already know that Washington can do evil extremely well. Well, he can act extremely well. How about that? And due to Will Smith's general warmth and charisma, we know he has the chops to play a character as compassionate and as intelligent as Professor X. And who would have guessed it? But just hours later, a rumor broke that Denzel Washington is exactly who Marvel Studios is reportedly looking at to portray X-Men's most iconic villain. It says here, Marvel might be looking to cast a person of color for Magneto, and among the actors on their wish list is none other than Denzel Washington. That's according to sources close to WGTC, the same ones who told us Moon Knight and Black Knight and Boogie Knight were heading to the MCU long before those two things became official. As such, we have no reason to doubt this intel, and this comes from We Got It Covered, or We Got This Covered. Given that Denzel is as much of a blockbuster actor as he is a prestige drama actor these days, his recent filmography includes 2 The Equalizer films and a remake of The Magnificent Seven, there's no reason to believe he couldn't be open, or he wouldn't be open, to getting a check from Marvel Studios, and that's what it all comes down to, right? Plus, out of all the comic book characters out there, Magento. It says Magento is easily one of the most complexly layered and is ripe for the artistic interpretation that an actor of Denzel's caliber would bring to the role. While Marvel Studios has yet to make any formal announcement regarding X-Men or Fantastic Four for that matter, fans are expecting the legendary team of mutants to make their debut in the MCU after Phase 5 kicks off in 2022. Alright, that's it. Alright guys, look, my feelings on this, right? I mean, first of all, you already know my feelings on it. It's like I feel that this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I am so tired of these studios trying to use black people and so-called people of color and different sexualities and shit like that to virtue signal. You know what I mean? It's like, when are people going to wake up? This is nothing to be cheered. It's like you want to have a role that is challenging to you, not one that's already been established as somebody else. But look, I'm going to do it because I'm black. This goes against everything that every civil rights fighter and warrior in history has ever stood for. Every civil rights champion has always said you want to be judged by the content of your character and not the color of your skin. All these people are doing is looking at the color of somebody's skin and say, hey, let's picture Magneto, but black. Let's picture Professor X, but black. You know what I mean? Or let's picture Thor, but a woman. You know, it's ridiculous. It's like, I don't see how this is complimentary to any actor anywhere. It's like, what you want to do is you want to come up with new, exciting roles. It's like, are we at the end of human history? Like, what happened to imagination? Have we completely, like, run out of ideas and all types of, you know, just general inspiration, you know, to come up with new things? It's like, that's what it seems like to me. And if I am reading Denzel Washington right, I would think that he would reject this notion and he would find it insulting. If I were an actor, I would feel that it would be insulting, you know? That would be like me saying that it's not enough that I'm inspired by, you know, like more successful white YouTubers that are out there. You know, I have to be them, you know? It's like, I just can't be me and just make an identity for myself. I want to be this other YouTuber. I want to be this other personality. You know what I'm saying? And to me, nothing could be more pathetic. Nothing could be more insulting. So I just feel like people really have to start seeing this for what it is. If anything, it's actually racist. You know what I mean? That you don't think that people can have their own identity and that they can prosper and that they can make it be something that's compelling, you know, with who they are. Magneto, Professor X, they've been around for a long time, and actually they have been said to have been a metaphor, you know, for the civil rights movement and probably other movements too. You don't need to always nail everything right on the head, you know, so I like metaphor, you know, I like things that are implied. I like things to be more subtle. I don't need everything to be like right there in your face. I don't need everything to look exactly like me for me to be able to relate to it. It's not necessary. But this is what Hollywood is doing. And looking back, you know, years from now, this is going to be like the most pathetic time, you know, in showbiz. The most pathetic time in motion picture history, where everywhere you look, in every franchise that there is, you see this same thing is happening. They want to turn everything around in blackface or change genders or, you know, or sexualities. And it would be one thing if one, like, property did this. It would seem like it's being innovative or clever. But when you see the whole industry doing this, like I said, when you look back on it, it's just going to look laughable, you know, and all of your material is going to be dated. Because when you look up these characters like Magneto and Professor X and stuff like that, if Denzel were to play this role or any other black man, it would just be some footnote at the end of the day. You are not changing the race of Magneto. Magneto has a very specific origin and a very specific backstory, and he always will. You'll just be known as the novelty Magneto, and I don't think any prestigious actor who values himself would ever do that, and I don't think Denzel would do that any more than I think Idris Elba would want to go and be Black James Bond. You know, so that's how I feel about it reading the article, guys. Of course, you can let me know how you feel. please be respectful, guys, because ultimately I think a lot of you agree with what I'm saying, so there's no need to be coming in here being disrespectful to a whole race of people based on news like this, because that's what it's really there for. I really do feel like this is a big psyop to sow the seeds of resentment between the races, between people in general. It's not just a racial thing anymore. I think they just want to get in between all of us, to the point where it's just ill will all over the place. And, that's just evil. But like I said, you can share your opinions, and you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. And of course, when you subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification bell. If you are subscribed, make sure you remain subscribed. YouTube is doing some funky stuff. And of course, you can catch me on Twitter. As always, I will be there. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.